It's November 14, 2022. Hello, guys. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen 30-minute podcast. I am back with this blog after being out since May. I first of all want to thank everybody for hanging in there for the last how many months it's been since May. I did say back in May I was going to take a little bit of a hiatus, and I did. I needed it. I needed a little break. Wanted to restructure the podcast, which we're doing and have done. But I originally wanted to get back in October, but I'll explain why that didn't happen last month. And some things came up, unexpected, very unexpected. So I'll go over that today. I will go over a few things that's been happening. I'll try to catch you guys up what happened to me or what I did, while I was off a little bit. I got a few notes here, got some show notes I like to just kind of put out there, some subjects and whatnot. But anyway, thanks again for stopping by. If you haven't, like and subscribe, guys. I've been doing this for a while now, but this is a whole new thing. Like I said, I was off since May, had time to rethink a lot of things. Before we get going, I'd like to just do cheers to the veterans. I'm a little late. I'll explain that, but post Happy Veterans Day. My hats, and I have many hats, go off to all the veterans, all the men and women that serve in our military. If it wasn't for them, well, we wouldn't be doing this. And the world's a pretty scary place right now. Also, drink coffee on the show. I got the coffee mug out. And today, I think, actually, we're doing since it's Veterans Day, we are actually doing the Black Rifle coffee today. So cheers again to the veterans. I know I'm a few days late. It was actually Friday, but better late than never. I apologize for being late. A little cheers. So anyway, without further ado, we'll go back to May. May was my last podcast. That's how long it's been since I've done it. From May to September, I basically just took some time off in the summer. Just basically hung out around the house. I have an old classic car I've been working on. I did a couple car shows this year. I didn't win anything, but got lots of looks. Had good times with family and friends, my brother and a good friend of mine, and had good times at the car shows. I went on a camping trip in September. And for years and years, I worked for the last 20-some years, I worked for Ascension Healthcare. I've been in healthcare for a long time. I've been working really for 43 years. And as of September 6th of this year, back in September 6th, I officially retired. So September 6th was my last day at the Ascension. I miss a lot of the people there. A lot of things I do miss, a lot of things I don't miss. I'm enjoying the retirement. And things were going great. Through September, I went on a camping trip with my brother in September. Fast forward, October come along. I did 2 car shows, one in September, one in October. And then something weird happened on October 24th, right before Halloween. I was getting ready to do, actually, if you've heard some of my previous little posts I put up, I was going to vamp this back up on Halloween and do the Halloween podcast. That did not happen. And this is why, guys. And on October 24th, I started getting what's called I call it a wonky vision, basically getting double vision. I got a third nerve palsy, shut my right eye down completely, had a terrible headache. This actually happened to me back in December of last year, December 10th. And to kind of give you a little history, and the reason why I'm really sharing this is so you guys kind of understand where I've been, and if you have these similar problems, you're not alone, okay? So back in December 10th, I had the same thing, the same episode. It happened in my left eye. Without getting into a lot of detail, it happened suddenly, same kind of everything. I went into a hospital for 4 days. They ran tons of tests on me, and everything turned out negative. They really couldn't figure out what caused the third nerve palsy in my left eye. Took about a month and a half, and it came back. So you fast forward to October 24th of last month. Same thing happens, only in the right eye. It'll be a month Thanksgiving that this one, it'll be a month. Right now, as we speak, I have a little bit of third nerve palsy in the right eye. I don't know if you can tell, but I do. And the reason why I'm mentioning all this, because, like I said, they've run tons of tests on me back in December. They give me some steroids and things get better. They just cannot figure out what it is. They think it might be autoimmune, but they really don't know. I'm kind of a mystery. I'll be going to a specialist probably in December and first of the year, and try to dig in further with my health. But that's the reason why I didn't get the podcast up in October, because quite frankly, I was in a lot of pain and couldn't see. And it's a little nutty, but thank God my vision's good. I went to the eye doctors and everything, and vision itself turns out good. It's just a third nerve palsy in his right eye. So that's where I was. It was health issue stuff, right? It's very, and I'm sure lots of people have health issues and have things coming up. It's very annoying. For the most part, I've been a pretty healthy guy all my life, and all of a sudden this just came up again, second time in 10 months, which is to be honest with you guys and gals, it's a little concerning, but we're going to battle through it. We're battling through all this stuff. Again, we don't think it's anything major. They just really don't know. It's something that's flaring up the autoimmune. Now, with me saying that, take notes here, gang. I'm not the only one that this is happening to, okay? And I don't know if it's COVID related. I don't know what's going on. I did have COVID early in the spring, around April. Thought I had COVID back in December of last year, and they ruled that negative. But something happened. And they, like I said, couldn't figure it out. And what I'm getting to is I worked with with someone from the hospital, quite a bit younger than me, like 30 years old, quite a bit younger than me. And he had the same thing happen to him, almost on the same date, December 10th. His eyes shut down, closed, had a third nerve palsy, same thing, never could figure out what it was. I have researched this a little bit on my own, online and stuff. I've seen women post they've had this problem overseas and stuff, and the same everything, third nerve palsy in the eyes, and can't find anything. But the common denominator is they had it after they had COVID. So I don't know if this is a viral thing that's happened that's causing these problems, weird problems. Anyway, to cut to the chase, and with all this third nerve palsy and autoimmune things, I got good friends that are fine. Matter of fact, one of my bandmates, fine, and then all of a sudden develops this autoimmune stuff, inflammation flare-ups. We don't know where it's coming from. I've been on this since this one flared up back on October 24th. I've been on like a mega health food diet, completely changed everything, exercising and all that. That being said, I feel like I'm on the road to recovery. Look forward to doing much more podcasting down the road. I got guests lined up, and it's going to be special. I got a new program that we're going to hook up and line up, and it's going to be nice. But I didn't want to keep you guys hanging because I did say I would be back in October, and I had to get out of here and talk to you guys about what's going on. Okay, I mentioned my talking points here today. Okay, I mentioned my health concerns. We don't know exactly what's going on with that. Again, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be doing this little 30-minute podcast I do every day. Changing up formats a little bit. My previous couple years when I started this, I talked about everyday life situations. I'm still doing that, but I think we're going to kind of expand on some of the everyday life situations, if that makes sense at all. But I've never had a cup of coffee. or drink a coffee. I'll have another cup of coffee later, but I'm going to never swing coffee, guys. I hope you guys are doing good out there. You know, it's just nothing's really changed since May. If anything, the world's gotten a little more wackier, and we know that, right? It's just, and it's a scary place. And I'll get to that a little bit later. So anyway, I'm in the United States of America. We just had election day last Tuesday. Interesting results on the election. I'm pretty much an independent. I know there's people that think, well, you know, especially people I used to work with, well, he's a Republican, he's a Trump fan, he's this and he's that. And that's one thing. It's amazing how people think they know you and they really don't know anything about you. But to put that to aside, I am an independent thinker. I'm an independent voter. I like to just make my own decisions about just about everything I do in my life. So I consider myself an independent voter. I only split my tickets and all that. They predicted the red wave. That really didn't happen. Although if you look at the maps, especially in the House race, I looked at that at Google the other day, and almost the whole United States is red. Now, Democrats did take back the Senate. Right as we speak, as of now, the House is still in limbo. But what I'm getting at about this election, it's getting very interesting since the Trump days. This country, it is sad in a lot of ways. This country, the United States, which I love dearly, is so divided, very divided right now. We got to get on some common ground and get unified. And I'll tell you why, guys, because if we don't, we're going to lose. Everybody's going to lose their freedoms, which is so valuable in this country. I talked about that back in May and before in previous podcast, a year ago. We're going to lose our freedoms if we're not careful. We got to be real careful. And the thing is about what's nice is I don't like one political party running the whole show. I like a little bit of divided. I like checks and balances. I really do like checks and balances. And I hope that the Republicans at least get the House. That way, there's a little checks and balances because you got a Democratic president, you got a Democratic Senate. Let's have, let's get some fresh blood in there. And I love whether you like Rick DeSantis or not down in Florida. You got to love what happened down there. Ron DeSantis, sorry, not Rick. Ron DeSantis. You got to love what happened down there because even though it's not divided, I'm kind of, contradicting myself a little bit. But you got to like I guess what I'm trying to say is you got to like the enthusiasm of what's going on down there in Florida. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, it doesn't really matter. You got to like the enthusiasm. And I think what I'm trying to say is, in a nutshell, guys, is I feel like we need in this country, we need the two-party system to work together and be enthusiastic about the welfare beings of everybody. And right now, we are just split almost down the middle. It's crazy. We'll see how it goes. I just hope the Democrats don't want to go too socialist. That's not good. I hope young people really think about socialism if they go that way or if they think that way, because it's not a good thing, really. That's all I got as far as the political thing. Comment below on anything I got to talk about on this. I guess this is the official first podcast back from my hiatus. I feel actually a little, I don't know, I feel relaxed since I retired. I'm very relaxed. I feel a little rusty with the podcast, but that's okay. We always just kind of shoot from the cuff anyway. I never really have anything scripted. So anyway, Election Day, Happy Veterans Day. Thanks to the veterans. God love them. Incredible people, and they got a tough job, especially these days. We'll get into that a little bit here in a few minutes. But Election Day results, comment on anything on that, whether you how you feel about that. And then I did also discussing the future of this podcast. Okay, the future of my podcast is kind of like what you see now, only we're going to have more guests and a little bit better technology. I'm kind of going to up the game a little bit. Working on that right now. I got a couple programs I'm looking at to hook up, and it'll really come in handy for the guests that come on my show. Looking forward to a lot of different topics with the guests, and like I said, I got people lined up now. A little bit. I'm about 4 weeks behind schedule because of the third nerve palsy incident. I guess I could have put a patch on. over my, which you never know. But, here's the funny thing, too, for Halloween. This happened the first time 10 years ago, actually. I was in a band. I'm a musician. I was in a band called Cage the Villain. We actually did a Halloween party, and my eye, same one, went boom. Both eyes have had palsies. This one, too. So the right eye's ahead. And I hope I don't have any more. But anyway, I dressed up like a pirate, like a ghost pirate at the Halloween party playing bass guitar. It was kind of funny. And almost 10 years to the day, it happened again. So guess what I did? There was a little Halloween get-together here in the neighborhood. I threw the old do-rag on, went back, dressed up back in the day, and went as a ghost pirate again. So kind of funny. I guess what you got to do is when you have something happen, just take the advantage, take advantage of it, I guess, or, run with it, right? You got a bad eye, you need a patch, just be a pirate. Funny thing is, my neighbor, he's got a bum foot. He has this, like a Frankenstein boot. Guess what? Dressed up like Frankenstein, right? So when things happen, you just, like I said, take advantage of it. But I'm looking forward to upping the game on the podcast. I want to do some shout-outs real quick, too. I want to shout out to Sir Charles. Miss you, buddy. I hope you're watching tonight. You might be. There's quite a few people on Facebook. I can't name them all, but thank you. You know who you are that are standing by and waiting for me to come back. And I want to shout out to Tim DeBrewer out there in Coffee World. He's doing his travels, so shout out to him. And Chris and Daniel down there in Austin, Texas. Daniel. One of these days, Daniel, I will get that right. I promise I won't call you the other thing, right? Okay. Anyway, that's all. It's all good. Okay. So anyway, elections. What you guys think? Comment if you want. Future of the podcast, you guys are going to see. You guys will just see how this goes. The media. I got to talk about the media. Okay, I got to talk about the media real quick. Is the media still spinning stuff, man? I tell you what, I was watching some of the coverage of the election, right? Kind of curious to see what was going to go on. You got one outlet that says this. You got one outlet that says that. You got one outlet that does this. I mean, they just spin stuff around. I mean, it's just crazy how the media is still spinning stuff. Does that drive you bonkers, guys? I mean, I just want some factual news. I look at some of these media outlets in the morning, and they had like 4 months ago that Russia was already nuking. Ukraine would have been nuked by now if you would have, heard Russia. Or, I mean, not Russia, but if you hear the news medias, I hope that never happens, right? Really. But they'd already had that already done like months ago. It's like they just keep ramping these things up. They keep ramping up this, and I know that they're just trying to sell tickets, so to speak, right? But it's just ridiculous how you can't believe anything you hear. I mean, really, to be honest with you. I take everything on the media with the grain of salt, right? You can't believe a darn thing they're saying. They're all over the place. I mean, even Fox News. I mean, I kind of am a Fox News fan. And it's not because I'm like Republican. I am conservative for the most part. But like I said, I identify as independent. But I like Fox because they're kind of entertaining. I watch some other ones once in a while. But none of them are getting it right. None of them are getting it right. Comment below what you guys think. I'm continuing the setups. Again, back to the set. I got some texts that are going to help me with all that stuff. As far as music goes, I'm not going to cross-pollinate my music thing with this podcast. Because I think, I talked about that back in May. I don't need to go over that again. But as far as music goes right now, since I'm retired from the day job, I'm going to work on placements again myself. Just working on placements, and I'll get together with some my other friends of mine that are musicians, the guys from the Crossroads Saints band and all that. Crossroads has still got the album out there. We're still plugging along with that. We got 3 new cuts. Just check out that website. I got the links below. As far as like major plans in the future. At this point, I don't know. I just want to do placements right now. If you guys don't understand what placements are, it's basically writing music and you pitch them for like TV, movies, gamers, YouTube channels, things of that nature. They use your piece of music, and sometimes you get paid. And I got a joke about this, guys, real quick. Another drink of coffee. I say sometimes you get paid, and I hope I don't get in trouble for some of these things I say, but it's the truth. I did some songs years ago. Some of them I got paid for, some of them I didn't. I don't know what it is, but hopefully, I guess what I'm saying, the bottom line is, hopefully you get paid, for your works that you do, no matter what you are, a musician, artist, whatever. Some of the stuff I get paid for, some of the stuff I don't, And the older I get, and with this health issue I've had for the last year, off and on, took a break for 10 months. It's a weird thing. It felt so good in October. Matter of fact, at a car show, it was the second weekend of October, had a real nice car show. Felt great. Felt better than I ever have. And then, like I said, 2 weeks later, bango. You just don't know, right? So the older I get, the more I just kind of go with the flow, and I don't really let a lot of things shake me up anymore. So I make my plans. I try to implement my plans. I do the best that I can do. But if things don't work out quite the way I anticipated or dreamed they would, I don't get all bent out of shape about it anymore. Just don't. Anyway, shout out to my friends out there and family. I love y'all. I'm doing okay. Like I said, we had the third nerve palsy setback. Don't know what that was. If you guys have anything similar to that happen to you, comment below. It'd be interesting to know. This thing started off like a cold. Back to my health again. Hope you don't mind. Anyway, this thing started off like a cold, and then I got a shooting pain like right in here, like in between like a really bad pain right here. And went underneath the eye, and then the eye drooped and caused third nerve palsy. Now, my doctor speculated it's vasculitis caused by ? They think maybe it's inflammation caused by ? They feel like it might be an autoimmune thing. I don't know yet. Let you know if I find out. But I'm just kind of curious if anything like that has happened to you lately. I don't mean to sound real conspiracy, but you wonder what the government's putting in the air. I've had COVID shot when it first came out, the series. And I don't know. I talked to a good friend of mine about it. It's very smart. He's a biologist, fellow musician buddy of mine. I said, do you think it might be the COVID thing? He said, no, I don't really think it is, and because of X, Y, and Z. I said, well, here's the thing. Everybody not everybody, but a lot of people that I know that have had COVID shots have had some weird things happening to them after the COVID shots. That's all I got to say about it. So I don't know if this, who knows? Like I said, I'm not trying to sound tinfoil or conspiracy, but weird things are happening. Okay. I got a couple more things, and then I'm going to end the opener, the blog, whatever. Go out there, enjoy your coffee, whatever coffee you're drinking. Have a good, safe Thanksgiving coming up. I'll be back on before Thanksgiving, hopefully, and we'll chat a little bit. I don't know what day. I'll keep you posted on what days I'm going to do the podcast. Now that I'm retired, I may do it twice a week instead of once. It's usually every Thursday, but I'll keep you posted. Okay, just gotta say, it's a delicate world we live in, right? You guys know that. I've talked about this a lot. It's really delicate now because you look at. I just watched the Joe Rogan show the other day, his podcast, and he talked about the nuclear weapons and all, and this and that, and how bad it is, and one of the guys said, you know what? We're not mature enough as human beings to have weapons. He said it really well. We're not mature enough as human beings to have weapons of that mass destruction capability. I agree 100%, hands down. It's like giving a kid a handgun, And when I say delicate world, it's not only that, it's everything that these guys are doing in labs, messing with these viruses, right? I don't know the purpose of that, really. Why? I heard that just the other day. And then again, it's media, so we don't know what's true and what's not true. That's one thing, right? We don't know where the sources are coming from. But one of the, I think it was the Boston Tribune or something, I read an article the other day where they're experimenting or tampering with a super COVID virus that's 3 times powerful than the one that initially came out 2 years ago, and they're messing with that, making it stronger. And the reason why, so they can combat something if it was to happen. It's like, and here's my idea: don't mess with it in the first place, and then it might not happen, right? I mean, simple as that. As simple as that, guys. So anyway, the delicate world. You got Putin doing his thing over there. You got the Chinese doing their thing. You got North Korea doing their thing. Iran doing their thing. It's pretty delicate. That's why, and it comes to my last talking point, that's why I got faith, guys and gals. Well, I'm heavy into my faith. I have faith. I wouldn't call myself a religious person, but I do have faith. Okay, I have faith, and you got to have faith, because, and this is why I say that. I mean, I'm saying you got to have faith. You don't have to have faith. You can do whatever you want. I suggest that I have to have faith. I suggest you have faith. This is why. The world is so delicate, and as you get older, things unexpected could just happen to anybody at any time. There's so much violence going on, so much disease going on, threats of wars going on and everything, and it can really look really doomsday out there, right? It can really look doomsday, and it can get you down if you let it. But I turn to one thing, and that's called faith, and the reason why is because that keeps you in tune and focused and keeps you positive in a very negative world that we live in. This is a flawed world. It's been flawed for thousands of years. It continues to be more flawed. But if you have faith, it'll all get better. You can keep focused on no matter what happens. If you have a third nerve palsy in your eye and you can't see straight, which I never could see straight anyway, but yet anyway, all kidding aside, you can stay focused on the good things. You can look at things, look at the world in a different way, try to pick out all the beautiful stuff that the world supplies and has still. We have a lot of control, and I say we as a human race, human society, human beings, we have a lot of control on our destiny. Not all of it, but we have a lot of control of our destiny. What are we going to do with it? You got to make right choices in the world. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of violence out there. A lot of disrespect out there. A lot of just, the word I'm looking for is, the mind is sterile to emotion. A lot of these people just run around and have no emotion. Blank. I call the blank stare, We're going to get into that with some of my guests. We'll talk further on a lot of these things I mentioned tonight. Today, I just wanted to get out here, tonight rather, let you guys know I'm still alive, and I'm not kidding about that. You just never know. I'm still alive, still kicking. Things seem to be looking up health-wise. We pray about that. And you just never know what life's going to throw at you, right? And the older you get, like I said, the more you see it, and the more you feel it, and the more you know it. I haven't even shaved for a few days. And that's part of being retired. And also, if you're old enough to retire and you can, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, because I live in the Midwest in Indiana, United States of America, and we've already got a cold front, snow, frost, things like that. And the nice thing is, I had to get up at 5 in the morning, I had to go truck out in it, and I praise God that I don't have to do that right now. Really do. And I think things are meant to happen for a reason. Before I close tonight, just want to share some of these personal things with you guys real quick. That inner voice told me back in, August. I started doing, the wheels started turning in December of last year when I got this episode happened to me the first time. But really around August, July, August of this past summer, the inner voice told me, said, you know what, you need to retire now, and you need to do it before it's too late. And I thought, okay, let's do it. It's a little scary, but I did it. I was fortunate enough and blessed enough. I have Not a rich man by no means, but had a little extra money still there. I thought, you know what, I could take a break. I highly recommend it. If you can take a break from the grind, do it. You need some time to kind of, and that's exactly what I did. You need some time to reflect, chill out, rest your body, especially if you've been working for a lot of years like I have. You need that time to recharge batteries. And people say, well, you can take a vacation, John. It's a week and stuff. A week does not do it. A month does not do it. I didn't really, till this eye episode, I really didn't start feeling good till about 2 months out of it. So really by right before this eye episode happened in October 24th, I would say October 20th, I felt fantastic. October 18th, around in there. Felt great in the middle of October. So, but you really need a couple months really just to unwind. Vacation doesn't really do it. And you can kind of just go at your own pace. Make your own schedule. Do what you want to do. It's great. I highly recommend it. I'm going to get off here, guys, because I don't have much to say. I just wanted to open it up today, let you guys know I'm still kicking. God bless our veterans again. I'm sorry I'm a couple days late, but better late than never. Tune in over my YouTube channel. This is on the Facebook side. I'm also going to be putting everything up on the Apple podcast and all that on the audio side. Going to really be ramping everything up full blast, barring anything happens, first of the year, because we're getting into the holidays now. I'll do some podcasts, but we're going to go full out first of 2023. It's hard to believe, too, it's going to be 2023, isn't it? It's just amazing. One last thing, too. When you look at Facebook and it says, has the memory thing, 10 years ago you did this, it really does reassure you how fast time does go. Anyway, I'm Johnny Allen. I'm doing great. Thanks for tuning in to the 30-minute podcast. I don't think we made 30 minutes tonight, but like I said, I had to open it up. Thanks again for stopping by. And we will talk about everyday life situations, but maybe in a little more in-depth than we did before. And I do have some nice guests. If you guys are interested in like stuff that is on the History Channel and all that, I'm really into a lot of stuff that's on the History Channel. And we're going to dive into some of that type of topic. I also have a show coming up, and I videotaped something, and you guys are going to be shocked at what I videotaped at a car show. And that's going to be a whole episode by itself. That may actually be the next one. And I got that video I'm going to be sending out to some really heavy hitters in the YouTube world. And I'll be anxious to see what they say about that. But anyway, I'm Johnny Allen. I'm signing off, guys. Thanks again for stopping by. Thanks for waiting it out on when I took my break since May. I appreciate it. God bless everybody. And you know what? Just do the right things. Be a good person. Do the right things. Make right decisions. Don't be a fool. That's the advice from me, I like what Lester Holt says. Take care of yourselves and each other. I like that. I'm not meaning to steal his thing, but I do like that, what he says. So, a lot of truth to that. So, anyway, I'm out of here. Adios. I'll see you guys. I'll put a posting up, let you know when I'm going to actually rotate this podcast. We're getting there. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for listening. Later.